This is Papa Dukes of the OG Social Network Podcast. Time to relax, relate, and release. Hey everybody, it's Papa Dukes. We're having a little technical difficulty on the other hand, waiting for Alex to log on. He's going to log back in. I hope everything is going well today. We are working on it ASAP. Give us a few minutes, a couple of seconds, and you should be ready to go. I thank you all for joining us today. Doing a quick. There you go. Are you?
I just had to switch us over to the cell phone. Tried and true.
Yeah. Are you on? Yeah. You good, right?
Yeah, we're in. We're good.
That's awesome.
Sorry about that. How you doing? Good morning.
No worries. We're on. We're good. Everything is great. This is Papa Dukes, the OG Social Network Podcast. Sorry for the slight delay. As always, we always come on with a little issues here and there, whether it's on the guest end or our end, and we fix it up real quick. Thank you all for joining us. As you know, we are sponsored by our beautiful pals and friends, everyone from Proteins 420, Meyer Security, Green Spectrums, CBD. I also want to thank Wetbot Distributors and Pink Products, who just came on as new sponsors. We also have Jade Stone Cannabis Branding and Surfside Sohan over there at Silk Road and New York City Cannabis Exchange, both in Queens, and I'll have more for you all in a minute. I got to tell you, though, I was introduced. I met this young man at first. Zoe connected us, so and we're about to see each other in Rochester, correct?
Are you gonna be at NECAM?
I'm gonna be at NECAM and at Revelry.
Yeah, I'll be at both. I'll see you twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what got me was I'm going to show one of the reels that you all did, and I remembered it immediately. Well, you were also at CMB, right?
CMB. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I remember seeing this orange case, and I kept I've seen that before. And I'll show everyone in a few minutes what we're referring to. I do want to say that there's a little slight construction going on outside. So, I live in a nice little condo, and I guess they're doing so just in case there's any loud noise and I have to step away for a minute. But other than that, let me tell everybody who you are. It's kind of weird because I kept looking at your face and I was saying, I met this guy, and I've met so many people in the last few years, and it's like all melding in now. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah.
Alex is the founder and chief executive officer at Skyworld, a New York-based cannabis brand rooted in Indigenous tradition. Drawing its name and inspiration from the Skyworld, a place of origin, unity found in native creation stories. A visionary leader and proud member of the Tuscarora Nation, Anderson conceived the Skyworld brand as a living expression of ancestral wisdom, cultural resilience, and the enduring connection between people and the cosmos. From the brand's name and colors, its cultivation philosophy, Anderson has infused every aspect of Skyworld with intention, honoring both tradition and innovation. His approach to cultivation is guided by respect for the plant, a deep sense of stewardship, and a belief that true quality comes from care, compassion, and community. Like-minded people, I like you already. Anderson's has set the tone for Skyworld's mission, uniting people, uplifting Indigenous voices, and offering cannabis that embodies the truest expression of its origins. With a rare blend of creativity and cultural insight, a strategic vision, Anderson continues to shape Skyworld as a movement for unity, meaning, and excellence under one sky. Truly, you've taken your ancestors' philosophy and brought it, to modern times. I love that, man. First of all, how old are you? Because you're like 17, 18, right?
Yeah. I'm 32. I'm 32. So
Oh my, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I just realized I was going to be a dad at 32 and still had no clue about life. So you're way.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I started early. I got a couple kids. So I got a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old. So I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, you started.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough. I've been with my high school sweetheart. So we're 16 years, half my life now. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very blessed in a lot of ways on that end.
What
But yeah,
got
I
you?
think. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, go ahead. What got you into this game, man? I mean, how were you able to, you know, get to this point? Like, I'm very impressed with the young people that are taking the plant and this passion and running this game. Y'all are going to run it. But I'd like to know, honestly, how did you get in and where are you going to go?
So okay, so I guess I can start at the beginning. Tuscarora, that's my tribe. That translates to people of the hemp. So growing up, I had, uncles, elders, everybody around. Everybody's cultivating hemp. Everybody's using hemp, CBD, THC, the whole thing. So I was pretty immersed in what hemp could be, not only just as cannabis, THC and recreational products, but like when colonizers and settlers and immigrants showed up, we were already using hemp. We were making hemp rope, making hemp shirts. So that's why they call this people of the hemp, is because we had a lot of hemp cultivation going on already, as far as that goes. So ancestrally, there's always been, a deep rooted tradition in we're people of the hemp. We have to be hemp gatherers. We have to be people that seek hemp, that are, it's always been a calling. That's always happened. Even as a teenager, I used to go and try to travel and find unique strains and land races. I mean, I had medical card when I turned 18 and did some of the first medical cannabis cups, as a guest to walk around and all that thing. So I've been chasing cannabis my whole life. No matter what I can do, no matter what I think, I tried to go business school and do different things, tried to get into different types of things. And no matter what happens, everything just always funnels back into hemp and cannabis. And that's just been life. And then I guess like officially in 2021, we applied for a bunch of CBD licenses. So I won a couple CBD licenses. So I grew some outdoor CBD, some indoor CBD, started to kind of just use it as like R&D. So started growing the indoor CBD, getting it to a point where it was starting to look really sparkly, really pretty, getting different colors, different expressions. And that's kind of when I knew, like, all right, yeah, I think we got something here that we can roll out. Initially, we wanted to use the CBD pathway to go to cultivation, but they weren't going to open it up in a way where the CBD licenses were going to translate to indoor cultivation. I realized right away, like, I need to grow high quality cannabis. That's my whole thing, is it has to be premium. We grow ultra clean. I can get into some of that too. I have a whole number of things that sort of separates us as far as cleanliness. And it translates right into the bud. You can see the bud structure is all unique. We have a bunch of different colors. It's not this perfect uniform rock hard diamond bud. It's a whole cycle of actual plant expressions and terpenes.
So it's like what we see right here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My God, this is the State Puff Final right here, right? What is State Puff or
Grape gasoline times marshmallow OG.
Oh
yeah.
Gee whiz. And then
absolutely. That's the Gush Canna. Yeah.
How do you also, you're growing this, correct?
What's that?
You're growing this. This is
So we're fully indoor. So I'm the cultivator, the processor, and the distributor. I have all 3 licenses. So it's single source. So if if you get something that's in an orange jar, any flower that's in an orange jar, we grew it here in Niagara Falls, and then we jarred it and we delivered it to your retailer. So there's no gap. Like the whole way we control temperature, humidity, all the environmentals to make sure that your terps are locked in, the cure is correct, the trim's the way we want it, all the phenos are the ones that we stand behind. it really helps us control that process. So yeah.
Oh, so you're a micro business.
I'm not a micro. No.
Not
So
a
I want a
micro.
tier 2 processing, and then
Yeah.
I want a distribution, and then I want a tier 2 cultivation. So I actually want 3 licenses. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. I think that really helps, knowing that you're going to be able to really control the quality of product from seed to sale.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, and we run a bunch of different phenos. So I'm always pheno hunting. I'm always popping seeds. I always got little ends of tables going with some new genetics, and I'm just really excited because we started construction in June of last year. We started cultivating around the end of October, and then we had our first harvest like the last week of February. So we've only been on market since March 15th, or March 14th actually was Pi Day. So that was our first sale.
Yeah. Like 5 months, right? That's amazing. I do want to show more of what you're doing here.
Lemon dairy, or no, lemon Oreos. Yeah.
Lemon Oreos. Yeah. Tell me about that strain. Tell me about the strains, the lemon Oreo and the Guna.
The Gush Canna.
The Gush Canna.
Yes. What's that?
What is that about? I mean, what are the strains like? I mean, I want to taste all of them.
Yeah. So each strain is super unique. So one of the big tenets that I had when I started to grow and to do this, and we started to pick out different things, was like, okay, if we open 8 different Skyworld jars, I want 8 different profiles. I want 8 different smells. It irks me to no end when I see 5 different jars and it's all the same. So so the lemon Oreos is I forget the first cross, but it's an Oreos cross, obviously. So I think it's I want to say it's like a lemonade cross, but I can't remember exactly what the start is for that one. Sorry, we have so many genetics going on all the time. But that was actually one of our first strains to sell out. That was one of our first most popular strains. It came back with really high THC results, but if you can see it, it's just gorgeous. The whole thing sparkles. It's a very, very good, like true hybrid, maybe slightly indica leaning hybrid. It just smokes phenomenal. That one is excellent. The Stay Puffed you were showing though, that was my favorite out of our first lineup. That one had a really unique profile. So sometimes when you touch different plants, some of them are stickier, some of them are kind of greasy as far as like how they feel. Like you won't have like this kind of sticky, it'll sort of feel more like a grease. And the Stay Puffed is like one of the greasiest strains that I've ever come across. And you could put the Stay Puffed into a Dutch and it could smoke the Stay Puffed and then smoke another joint of something else, and you'd be like, I still taste the Stay Puffed. I'm out. So that was one of my favorites. As far as like when we first dropped the lineup.
With the ASMR sherb.
Yes, the sherb cream pie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, are you a scientist? You're not from this planet, are you? This is
none of us are. That's the Skyworld ethos, man. We all came from outer space.
Brother, I can't wait to go back home. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's the collection of the universe. We're just bringing everything in,
That's hard to do, but
Yeah.
You're like, you're all there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're all aliens. If you want to see an alien, look to your left, look to your right. That's yeah. We're space travelers, my man, on a rock, right? In space. So that's kind of the thing, right? So like it's about it being indigenous and about these things and about, finding unique cannabis, but it's also always about these callbacks to like, hey, we're all human. Being indigenous means that we're human. We all are on this planet. We're all floating and existing in the universe. That's what it calls back to the cosmos and all that stuff too. It's like the brand is very layered. It all starts with really good cannabis. That's the key to me is like, have great product. We have a little joke in the grow. If you wouldn't give it to your grandma, then it's not good enough for a Skyworld jar. So that goes to the cleanliness, that goes to the taste, to the quality, everything like that. But also that we're all relatives. We treat the plants as relatives. I don't treat the plant as something to sell or something that I'm going to profit on or judge it in that type of way. Everything that I interact with as a relative. So every part of our grow, every part of our equipment, everything that we're doing is based on supporting the needs of that relative. So how do we better that? So that's how, you know, that's how we end up with all the unique expressions that we do. So
now, tell me about your co-founder. I know he wasn't able to come on today. Eric Steenstra.
Yeah, Eric Steenstra. So Eric's actually been working with Indigenous communities for quite a bit. He's like a true ally. Eric got involved into CBD and hemp in 1993. He had a couple of clothing lines that were hemp clothing lines, as well as put on some, I believe he worked with the Normal Project, and then more recently he worked with the Sioux Rosebud tribe to help them establish some cannabis stuff. He was also a writer on the Farm Bill, the original Farm Bill. So Eric's kind of like my OG. I like to say Eric's my reader. Eric's really good at getting into organization and how to put structure to some of these things that we have going on. So without that type of ally, somebody to, you know, drop a ladder down and to make a connection, to reach out to these, through his Rolodex, let's say, to sort of put this together, it would have been a lot tougher challenge. It would have been a much bigger hill. He was like an integral part in us getting our licensing and putting together the structure. Yeah, so Eric's got a pretty unique background himself. Yeah, he joined the team. We met actually through a mutual business associate that was Indigenous from the Sioux tribe. So we met through Indigenous community, and then he was able to help us, you know, organize, fill out applications, build up the type of like legal team and infrastructure that we needed on paper in order to be first in line, right? To get our applications in, to get into the lottery as soon as possible. So yeah, that's Eric there. Yeah.
Eric is seems to be a very important part of your organization. I'm so glad that OGs like him are there to help young bloods like you.
Oh, it's huge. And it's, you know, yeah. And as an ally, it's like a whole different level because like, you know, like you being an Indigenous community, like it's, you know, you want to help other people in the community, but for Eric to go and have this opportunity and to build this legacy in a different space that maybe some of us didn't have access to in the beginning, and then to extend that partnership to us and to help us, you know, enter these spaces, it's invaluable. You know, it really speaks volumes to Eric's character and his whole ethos and what he wants to see out of the world. So we really aligned in that way. We have like him and I both are in the idea of we need to produce something that's going to make the New York market better, the world better, do good for our employees, do good by our families. Those are the things that are important to us. And we sort of have that as our primary focus, whereas then profits and sort of, you know, making this a viable business are secondary. That's obviously we need to do that to continue to do what we do, but that's not our driving. That's not the driving force behind this whole place. It's not even close. So
well, let me show people
recognition to the fact that everything
you
is
have
going
on.
relatives and that everything.
Hold on. I want that for my birthday.
We got you. Yeah, I'll get you a demo box. Those are lit. Yeah, everybody wants the demo box. That's the best birthday present. That's on the Christmas list for everybody this year. No, that's but,
like amazing. You know, to have that type of product, and you see that come to your door, you know, in a beautiful, you know, box, and then you're going to have that forever. You're going to put everything in there.
Yeah, it's kind of become our signature. It was inadvertent, right? So like, you know, we were trying to figure out ways, how are we going to get this product out? What are we going to do? And so I kind of brainstormed this idea. I had a background in glass too. So I had a glass studio. I had a couple glass artists, and we used to make pipes and borosilicate and all that stuff. And one of the ways that people transport nice glass pieces is in a tough box like that. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I've already worked with these. I know what those are. So I went and I got those. And we designed that, the demo box, the first demo box. And I'll never forget walking into the initial store And in my mind, a demo box, that box like that has always been for glass pipes and glass. But a lot of people use them for like guns and things like that. So I'm walking into the dispensary with this box and everybody's like, oh, who's this? What's going on? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Security wants to get into the box and everything. And so it kind of created a buzz where then like before I was showing up at stores around like Western New York, they had already called each other like, oh, hey, this guy's going to come by. He's got this orange box. You got to check it out. And it was like, oh, man, I'd show up at places and be like, I heard about the box. We've seen the box. And I'm just like, okay, this is kind of our signature now. This is our thing. So we leaned into that. Yeah.
I remember where it was now. I saw that box at Niagara. It was
right. Okay. That would have been in February. That was very, very early. Yeah. Yeah.
I just was like, holy, what is that? So I know I got pictures of that.
That's all we had at that time. That was it. It was just an orange tablecloth and 2 of the demo boxes. That was demo box number 2 of 3 and 3 of 3. And I had number 1 at home. And that was it. That was all we had. Yeah. So we do the labels. We do everything in house. So I print the labels. So we did all of that to make this thing and stand it up by hand. Like we started off with just, 4 people, a couple cultivators. We did the labeling, we did the trimming, we did the whole thing to get this all done, to get the product launched. And now we're up to, I think we're up to about 20, 25 people now. So it's a good little team now. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing on your website, this is like drop one now available. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah.
If you all ever want to see what's going on, just go to skyworld.com. And you will be able to check it out.
So I did a lot of work on the website to make it very visual, right? Like you look up there, there's the merch button. You get to the top of the website, and the first thing on the website is the COAs. You also have your store locator, right? Yeah. So like for me, I'm not a very strong reader. Like I had a lot of problems with like dyslexia and different things like that at school. So like when I'm looking at this website, my whole tenets for this was like, I got to see these big buttons. I need these buttons everywhere. And I need this to be super user friendly. Like I said, like I kind of always think about, like, I don't know. I always think about my grandma, like, hey, let's make this easy for grandma to use, right? Like everybody's got to be able to use this. And like, whether you have visual or you like, I had like the delays for me for reading, or if you're elderly, like I want this to be super accessible, right? At all times. Like this very transparent brand. So it makes it, like you're kind of scrolling through it there. You can kind of see like big buttons, color sorted, right?
And then it takes you to a drive where you can see all the COA certifications as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
To let everyone know that because here, let me just show them real quick. There you go. And as you can see, just click on any of the COAs and wow, you got everything right here, dude.
Yeah, and we did full COAs. So you have the terpenes, you have everything, all the heavy metals, everything like that too. I didn't do like just the standard whatever. So it's all extra for everybody who wants to get into everything.
No, I think this is quality control. You really care about the consumers. And
we're trying to get better every day. It's not where we want to be. So like even one of the logos that I use for the Skyworld is an asterisk with a degree sign. There's a number of meanings behind that. So not only does it look like a star and a planet, which is a callback to the Skyworld, but it also kind of looks like a person. So that's the person from outer space, from the stars and the planet. But then even on another level, an asterisk, when we use an asterisk means that we're going to change. We're going to make an edit, right? Like when you type something, you have a typo, you use the asterisk and hey, this is a correction. So then I put the degree sign behind that to symbolize, hey, we're making change at least 1 degree every day. I'm trying to get better. So like, I appreciate everybody and all of the opportunities that we've been blessed to have in the state. And then I double down on that by like, hey, listen, if anything's ever up or a miss or anything, contact me because I will always take an opportunity to get better. Somebody's always, hey, it could be this way, it could be that way. I'm looking at it. I'm working on it. I listen to everybody. It's a community product. It's consumer driven because like I got into this market. I'm a heavy smoker. I wanted a product that I could consume and use all the time, hand out to people to, you know what I mean? I wanted something that was for us, built for the consumers, for us. And I kind of just saw that as a niche in the New York market, like, hey, this is lacking. And then, you know, we were blessed with the opportunity to have that big indoor canopy. So I'm like, this is what we have to do. This isn't about putting out mids. This isn't about putting out volume. This isn't about profit and all of that. It's literally about supplying a need for New York cannabis, for consumers. So yeah,
Well, I want people to hear this as well.
back and in recognition to the fact that everything is living and that we're all relatives and that everything comes from space, that we're a part of space and we're one universe, past, present, future, everything all together. Your relatives with the ground, with the sky, with your water, with the rock, anything you can think of is all part of this one thing that we are experiencing, understanding is Skyworld.
yeah, that's it. That's it, exactly. Yeah, and so like you seen, like I had long hair, right, in that video. So like this is part of my culture, right? Like so, I grow my hair. You grow your hair, and it's significant because like I had ancestors that had to get their hair cut at Indian boarding schools. I have my grandparents were some of the last fluent speakers of our language. And that was like beaten out of them in schools and residential schools. So like we weren't allowed to grow our hair, to speak our language for such a long time. So like the moment I was old enough to make these decisions for myself, you know, I grew my hair, I did these things, and I actually, it's traditional in my culture to cut your hair when you lose a relative or a close friend. And so I lost a brother-in-law at the start of this year. So I cut my hair. So it's like, I'm in the process, you know, it's coming back. We'll get there, but yeah, it's so everything is real, you know, you got to be about it. If you're going to be it, you got to be about it. So yeah.
I would love to be able to introduce you to Sohan Bashar, Silk Road. You two would really kick it. He has a farm as well upstate. He's a dispensary owner, and his dad, I believe, is going to be a cultivator, farmer, you know, and they're Bangladeshi, but you guys are like, seems like it came from the same freaking neighborhood, you know.
Cool. Yeah.
Your generation is going to, you know, save us, I think, honestly. I hope. You know, I'm so impressed with what I've seen so far and what I've read. Did you go to school for this?
No. So I
right, self-taught, right?
Yeah. So I washed out of a number of schools. Yeah, I had some good grades. You know, I tried. Like I said, I tried. I really tried to go into business and do different thing and all that, and it just never was me. I couldn't help it. I always would end up with bags of cannabis, with pipes, with, you know, at the trade shows, at the sales, and I'm just like, that's just how it went. Yeah, there was nothing I could do about it, so I just sort of leaned into it. I wake up every day blown away. Like I wake up every day absolutely blown away that we're cultivating and selling cannabis. I don't know how it happened. I couldn't tell you. I mean, obviously we planned it, and I did a lot of steps to get from here to here, but like, no, man, I'm just living a day at a time like everybody else. So
you know, I think you're doing an amazing job. You were able to do what other people are still trying to do, and that's find their passion, right? So I think that you and young people like you, there are two other young gentlemen I met at Nitro when I saw that box. In fact, I think you all were standing next to each other, or were vending next to each other.
So I was home jarring and labeling for the drop. And we sent Eric and our sales guy now, David Martinez. He's based out in the Bronx, and that's who was there. Yeah.
I'm in the Bronx.
Okay, yeah.
Tell David to give me a call. I'll have break lunch.
I will. He's last stop on the 2 train, I think. Yeah, that's David.
He's like, he up here, 241st Street.
He's down there. Yeah. He's claiming. Yeah.
I'm in Portchester, so literally I can take the train to him, no problem. Or he can.
Cool. Yeah. So that's where things that all kind of came out of, especially for us in the city, was, you know, like the Bronx joint, Hush, Canna Realm. Like those were our, like, that was like home base for us, you know, and it still is. The shout out to all those guys, and you know, we always appreciate everybody.
Bronx joint, Hush, Denny. Danny, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
great guy.
Dennis. Yeah. And then Stash now too is on board. So yeah, we love the Bronx. We love Yonkers. We love Westchester. You know, that's where I like to be when I go to the city. So it feels like kind of like where I'm from. It feels more like the reservation. You know, it feels
Oh,
like
I gotta go there then. Y'all better have some
yeah.
good bacon, egg, and cheeses.
Yeah, we were in the Heights recently. We were in Washington Heights, and I seen all the guys with the four wheelers and the dirt bikes and all that
Yeah,
shit all through. And I'm like, we're on the res. This is the
yeah.
res. This is the same. This is so,
Where now? You say you're near Niagara Falls, correct?
yeah.
You know, I'm supposed to be going to House of Sachi.
Oh, okay, yeah, local group, great guy. Yeah,
I'm gonna go see Mike, but I want to come and see you and add you to the trip as well because I'm gonna be up there during that time.
absolutely. I think I'm maybe 30 minutes from their spot, something like that.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna make
Yeah,
it
they're
happen.
good people. He's also been really helpful. Yeah, they've one of those guys that was willing to have a few conversations, right? And I think like sometimes when you get into a space and like he's a cultivator, I'm a cultivator, we're both trying to launch brands and like there's every opportunity to be standoffish and to like not be helpful, not want to answer questions, not want to associate. But no, that House of Sachi team has been super cool as like sort of mentors and they've laid out a really good track as far as like what should be done, how things could be done in the community. So yeah, that was really cool. It's cool that you're going to go see those guys too. They have a beautiful greenhouse facility, Western New York. So yeah.
When you say that, like, do you experience that a lot though? I've been experiencing a lot of it with the farmers and cultivators, right? Because I'm currently working on a research farm upstate, and I noticed that everyone that works with us or collaborates or talks with us or everyone is just so forthcoming. They really want you to succeed. It's not like any other industry. Have you experienced anything on the opposite side, or how has been your overall business experience from getting from application to seed to sale?
Honestly, it's been extremely positive. Like you said, I've never been in an industry like this. Like I obviously worked a few other jobs and did other things, and like everywhere else is very gatekeepy, is very tough. But like I think especially once you get into the cultivation level, other cultivators resonate with that. Like we all kind of came from out of the dark, and now we are able to share tips and share contacts, and like I think everyone's just chopping at the bit to like build that community and build that team. And that's what I've seen too, is like exactly what you're saying. Like people are coming out of the woodwork like, hey, we want to help. We want to be involved. How can we do this? How can we lend a hand? And it's like, it's nothing that I've ever personally experienced in any other industry ever. And then like, it feels like there's not a lot of like biting or cutting or different things like that going on either. At least not that I've seen yet. One of the cool things I will say is about Western New York in general. It's a place where it's tough here. And so like all of us business people here and all of us cultivators from here, we've kind of already all went through this for a while. We've already all been in this industry for a while. We've already we know what it takes, and it requires collaboration to make it out of Western New York. You need to work with each other. So I think like, especially in our little niche over here, we've seen like a skyrocket in quality over the last few years, and that's just sharing genetics. That's just breeders working with each other, sharing tips, sharing mediums, sharing ideas on cultivation, and it's just elevating this whole area. Like when we first dropped and we started, we had more stores in Western New York than we did in the city for a few weeks, and I had people in the city like hitting us up like, hey, how come you guys are keeping all the good weed upstate in Western New York? And I'm like, we're trying, but it's always going to be that way. Everybody in the state is always going to be able to say, hey, you got to get down to Western New York. You got to get down to upstate, because that's where these farms are really killing it. That's where we're sharing genetics. That's where we're really elevating. This whole cannabis scene is really based out of Western New York. So yeah, shout out to all the micros and everybody out there, because we couldn't have done it without everybody as a team. It wouldn't happen. So yeah,
I am so happy to hear that. I'm very happy to know that and see actually the experience that the cannabis industry is definitely uh, is more community based, and everyone is concerned about working about the MSOs and ROs and people, those that have more resources. But I really feel it comes down to who's growing it, and who knows how to really bring out that good stuff. Because after a while, you can begin to see it's not what it was at first. For example, the sour I had in the 90s was not the sour that's today. There are strains that I had when I was in the 70s and 80s. That's how old I am. That don't even exist anymore. That took me to a whole new level of time and space. Actually, made help me graduate high school. Right?
No, 100%. The land races and that's all prohibition, right? Like, so like people were forced to cultivate in small pockets and what they were calling, illegal grows. This is all prohibition. So what happened then is you had genetics that the grower got busted and they eliminated all those plants. Or you even saw a wave in like the late 90s where a lot of the skunk varieties and all of those kind of things disappeared because it's too smelly. How are you going to smuggle plants that are that smelly? You're going to get busted. So all those things kind of disappeared. So there's a lot of really good terps. There's a lot of really good things that kind of just went by the wayside. And that's sort of been one of my focuses too, is like when I pop seeds, I try to get things that are crossed with landrace or some original genetics and things like that, because I'm really terp hunting. Yeah, we're really terp hunting. I'm hunting for structure. I'm hunting to try to bring back things that are in remote parts of the world. Like anywhere I take a trip to or travel to, it's always dedicated on, hey, let's get to the places where they're cultivating cannabis. Let's get there. Let's see it. Let's see what's going on. Let's smoke some local herb, because there's always something to learn. If one of my favorite quotes is if you think you know everything, it's time to retire. So
yeah, well, I can tell you, when it comes to any form of farming, cultivation, husbandry, anything, that is ongoing knowledge. And not everyone can do that. I think what I've experienced this summer, great summer too, I had, was working with people that I did not know, and almost easily because of the passion of the plant, we just easily melded into a team to manage the research. And it took a lot of work. We put up the greenhouse. I documented a lot of it. So, but you gonna
put out a doc or something on that too?
Yeah, we're doing.
All right.
I'm working with. I can't say too much because of the government aspect and everything. Okay, I even want to mention my dear friend, who's an amazing human being, who I'll tell you, at the end of the production when we stop. You meet people in your life. Like you said earlier, if you say you know everything and boom, you need to retire. Yeah. That's life in general, and that's fuck that. I am 8 years old inside. I just want more now. When it comes to knowledge and everything, but my youth, I am silly as fuck. But I'm working with this person, and he's amazing. The structure, the food we're eating, the farm life itself is so holistic. And there's a lot to do on a 10-acre farm. There's a lot, right?
A lot of irrigation lines. That's a lot of work. Yeah, I ran an acre outside before. It's
so that's what we're doing.
It's real.
We did all that. We have an acre with 150 plants now. Researching males, femmes, hermaphrodites. I got to see what a male plant finally looks like because I never saw one. I'm like, oh, this guy's a bunch of testicles.
Yeah, they really do. It's weird, right? Yeah.
Then I got to see a hermaphrodite, and I want to introduce you to Sam Rivera. He is this young man. He's 28, but he is like, wow, with the grow. He's the one that's actually handling the grow.
Yeah.
My thing is the soil. I'm really into wanting to learn about creating living soil,
Yeah.
a biodiversity where I saw how indigenous people used a plant that grew close to the ground.
You're talking about Three Sisters.
Yes, that
Corn, bean, squash.
right, right.
Yeah, that's our Three
And,
Sisters. Yeah.
right. I want to learn to do that. And is
Yes.
that incorporated into the cannabis grow as well? Can that be?
It can be. It's not there yet, right? So there's a lot of hiccups. There's a lot of regulation on that kind of thing, and obviously, to experiment and to do some R&D, you need some cash. So things are coming, right? Like I think you're going to see more regenerative farming, especially in home gardens and things
Right.
like. That's where that really thrives, right? Is like when somebody can take cannabis home and curate like a small pond with some unique genetics, and then they incorporate some other plants that have a symbiotic relationship. It's like, yeah, there's a whole way to create ecosystems with plants that'll repel unwanted pests and attract pollinators. And yeah, there's a few guys that are running some pretty unique little projects. It's always been a big passion of mine. I've always had a lot of really fun ideas about trying to incorporate some of these things into our grow. I don't have it yet. It's coming though.
I think because all right. So the friend I'm talking about wants to do the same thing, but we're trying to explain to him you're talking on a too mass level.
Yeah.
A niche, right? And
right.
You want to build from that niche, and you need to show over time results, right? And there are too many factors you have to worry about. Is it going to be an indoor greenhouse, or are they just going to do seasonal outdoor, the grow, right? Do they want to do year round? Do they what do they want? You know, it's a lot of people really need to be educated. Like, for example, having plants that I bet you a lot of people didn't know that there were plants out there that can really get those pests right? And
there's certain cannabis varieties that'll do it too. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So like when I'm on the farm, I don't even mess with the bees. I don't kill anything.
It's relative. It's a relative. Yeah.
Right. You know, I had a big ass mouse in my tent, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna fuck with you tonight, but I'm bringing my friend tomorrow. So I had this big ass cat, Mr. Orville, in there all day trying to get this thing out. And he got it out. No, he ate it. He ate it.
There you go. Full circle. There you go. Yeah.
So I was like, there is such a sustainable farming, and being outdoors is, I think, more sustainable in life than living in an urban, I want to balance it.
So this is kind of one thing, like, I'm glad you said that, because this is one thing that sort of came up with us, right? So like, I don't know if you're aware or not, but like the city of Niagara Falls is notorious for chemical pollution and industrial zoning and things like that. But all of that industry has since collapsed and disappeared. So we're left with like a very destitute type of economy here in Niagara Falls. And so one of the things that we did was we occupied, where you situated our grows, we occupied basically like a closed down, abandoned, it was a factory warehouse. And so we built everything inside of there. But some of the advantages of that is that we're revitalizing an economic hub zone, a federal economic hub zone. The building itself is using hydroelectric power. And then we also were able to bring in a bunch of new, like top of the line LEDs from FOS, so that they're running highly efficient. So there's a number of things that, like, we've been working on as far as a sustainability piece. And then the employment situation here can be pretty difficult in Niagara Falls. So like, we're offering sort of a premium employment with healthcare benefits and all kinds of things like that. So like, not only sustainability, people always think about sustainability in the sense of like the environment, and we have a tendency as human beings to separate ourselves from nature and the environment. And we kind of have this ego that like we're above this, or like we're not a part of that. But no, if you actually Google cultivation sustainability, one of the main tenets of cultivation sustainability is farmer health, taking care of the farmers, taking care of the cultivators. And so like I've really kind of dived into that, where it's like at this point, every single dollar that's come into the company is getting reinvested into making either the quality of the grow better, the quality of the plant better, or the quality of the life of our employees better. So it's pretty neat. And then to segue that, coming up, we have a new strain coming out called White Apple Runts. So war, White Apple Runts, right? War. So my community and communities all across the country have been deeply impacted by the war on drugs, the war on cannabis. So I'm actually going to take a portion of those proceeds and donate them to the Last Prisoners Project. So we're going to create merch. We're going to create a special label, all centered around this strain. And a portion of those sales, portion of those proceeds are going to go to helping people that have been impacted by this prohibition and by that. And this is a pre-revenue, this is a pre-profit company. So like we're going there immediately to donate before we've even taken anything for ourselves. That's how much we believe in this. That's why I think one of the main reasons weed always comes to me is because I'm so willing to just share it and to give it out and to help people in need.
Praise, yes.
That's why it comes. Yeah.
I could tell you life stories, man. I will tell you this now. Every time I ran out of weed, I had weed within 3 hours. I don't know how. I'm knocking on wood. I'm just telling you, bro. I told my mom the other day, if there's one thing that's been a constant outside of the love of my family, because you gotta tell them. Yeah. But honestly, outside of my family, there's been a constant. It's been marijuana. Marijuana helped me so many ways. And at the same time, I had too much of it, and I did, too. So it's, but it is one relationship I would never let go. In fact, I told people, that bonfire thing we do, set me up, bonfire, in the ground, dirt, about 5 pounds of flour, good shit now, good shit. Don't
send you.
Right? Wrap me up real good. You can wrap me up in a big fucking raw paper or whatever you want to do. And
I buried relatives with cannabis. I've done it. I put cannabis in the box. Yeah.
You're in charge of that now. So,
oh man.
No, I mean, because it's just brought me so much peace. But here's the war, white apple runs.
Yeah.
And you said that proceeds will be going to
Last Prisoner Project. So this is a brand new announcement. I've just started to tell people about this. So I'm probably 2 weeks or so away from having the label and the merch and everything ready to roll. And then we'll have the amount of whatever we make on that's going to go. I think we're going to write an initial check just to kick it off, and then whatever we sell off of that, we're gonna throw into this Last Prisoner Project, because it directly, that one in particular really resonated with me, because my uncle, who was a huge influence in my life on cannabis. I mean, I used to go out smoke with my uncle and hang out at Unc's all the time, and like he did a pretty significant amount of time over prohibition over cannabis, and it's like you're taking away people from communities, but not only that, but then you disenfranchise them too. So it's like the second that you have that record, now what's your pathways look like? What are your options from there, right? And like, so that's extremely limiting. So like when we had the opportunity, like we're working with Stay Mellow, we just helped them with their Hall of Flame drop.
Yeah, I wanted to say that you're in partnership now with Carmelo Anthony, Stay Mellow.
Yeah. Carmelo's their partner. Saying that's weird. I don't even, that's, I just keep saying, we're blessed, right? And I just always want to remain humble and thankful. I just like to work hard for people, I like to make things better life. I want a better life for everybody. So,
well, everyone can go to lastprisonerproject.org, and their mission is imagine sitting in a cell for years, decades, or even for life, convicted of an activity that is no longer a crime. while thousands of other people build intergenerational wealth doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That is the situation that tens of thousands of drug war prisoners face today in the United States alone, while countless others languish in jails and prisons worldwide. We, Last Prisoner Project, works towards to repair these harms through legal intervention, constituent support, direct advocacy, and policy change. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. So we became familiar with the group through Jesse Horton, and the Grand National team and the Stay Mellow group, because that's one of the ones that they work with, right? Like that's some of the projects that they've kind of tied in with, and you'll hear like, you know, Carmelo speaking on that too. And so it was a really unique partnership, because like we had kind of been meeting and talking for a while, and then just organically we have the same ideals, we're on the same track, we have the same passion, and it like all of this thing just kept circling back to each other, where it was like, hey, this is a really good fit. And then when it timed out with the Hall of Fame, with, you know, Carmelo going in 2025 Hall of Fame, they wanted to do that exclusive drop, and at the time, you know, this was the volume that we could handle, and like we were like more than eager, right, to align with Carmelo and that type of value, because he's in a unique situation too, where like he has a lot of people that are looking to him as a mentor, as a you know, as a hero, right, as a community hero, as a community leader. And the fact that he's willing to take his time to talk about Last Prisoner Project and to talk about this prohibition, like that's way beyond what most of these, you know, celebrities or endorsers and these things get into. Most of them are, oh, it's weed, whatever, put my face on it. But no, Mello actually cares, and you know, he's a true consumer. He truly, you know, knows about his genetics and like what he wants to see out of his brand. And there's just a ton of synergy there between what Skyworld ethos is and what Stay Mellow ethos is. And it just made collaborating just so simple. Like it's just been such a good partnership there for that. So I'm really excited to get those products out to the public. We're hoping next week, if not the following week. So yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, I want to tell you, we definitely have to have another conversation on this, because there's more I want to talk to you about on regarding the spiritual aspects of cannabis and how it's affected you, and how it's helped you grow as a young man. And I think young men need to hear more about you. I am so freaking impressed with what you've done for us in this industry and the products and services you're bringing out. You're really I know I'm gonna get stoned when I see you. So
yeah. I love that. I love to accumulate people. Like when I meet them again, I want them to tell me, hey, you know, the most high I've ever been was with you. I love that. That's my favorite thing to hear.
I've had some great experiences and great opportunities to smoke some really good stuff. So. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I want you to hold on for a minute, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Know that this is like, I'm going to tell y'all, you know, you meet these people that are just on another realm in time and space, and y'all about to take it to a whole new level. And you all know who you are. So. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. We're going to wind down. I definitely will be up there to see Alex next week. It's going to be next week, really. The 19th, 20th is Nikan, or I'm going to see you at Revelry. I'm going to see you. So the next 2 weeks, I'm going to see him next week and the week after. Y'all are just going to see some more content. We're going to visit his farm. Thank you for allowing us to do that. Gonna have more content for you, and probably it'll be the end of the season between, I'll be at House of Sachi and then your farm as well. So I'm going to leave everyone with some nice cultivating and croptober type of feel. Yeah. So thank you so much, Alex, and thank everyone today for joining me. I I want to thank my sponsors, Produce 420, Jade Stone Cannabis Branding, New York City Cannabis Exchange, Silk Road, Hey Sohan, Lewis and Donovan at Wet Bar Distributors, Gordy's Goodies. Forgot to mention you earlier in the show, Gordy. Sorry about that. Green Spectrum, Surfside, Meyer Security, and Pink Products. We are on MNN. Manhattan Neighborhood Network will be on Spectrum 34, Fios 33, and RCN 82. Those are the channels. He will be featured on October 19th, the full edited version. But he's live right now. Okay, so everybody got the live. I was supposed to do it the opposite way. Supposed to be on them first, but it's okay.
Cool.
We'll get it together. They're gonna have a lovely little. But again, thank you all so much. As you all know, we have Lulu Sue coming on later on at 4:20. She is with On the Revel and the Revelry. We will be there doing press as well and enjoying a great 2-day event here in New York City at Pier 36, September 12th and 13th. So you definitely need to come and check out all of the great acts and speakers and vendors. It's going to be a great industry event. I love On the Revel. On the Revel is amazing.
It's a true cannabis event. Yeah, they really pulled it off. Yeah, they nailed the culture. Yeah,
I love them. I think they are one of the more amazing shows to really enjoy, and events to really enjoy, and you meet so many people. Again, thank you all so much. I will see you all soon. I'm going to wind it down. Again, be cool, be calm, relax, relate, release. I'm here for you. This is Papa Duke's COG Social Network Podcast. Peace.